The Bible is a sealed book, as the words of a book that is sealed. This phrase comes from Isaiah 20, verses 10 and 11. For the Lord hath poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep, and hath closed your eyes. The prophets and your rulers, the seers, hath he covered. And the vision of all is become unto you as the words of a book that is sealed, which men deliver to one that is learned, saying, Read this, I pray thee. And he saith, I cannot, for it is sealed. When it comes to reading the Bible, you can understand the English and yet not understand the book. But you can't understand the book without understanding the English. We're going to look at a few scriptures in this series of short meditations that explain this riddle. So let's start with the fact that the Bible is a sealed book. The Bible is a sealed book to the natural mind of man. If it wasn't for the fact that the light of Christ lights every man that comes into the world, we would have absolutely no way of being able to understand the spiritual meaning of the Bible. John 1:9. That was the true light, which lighteth every man that cometh into the world. People contend that the AV 1611 Bible is old and difficult to understand. The truth of this is not a matter of the form of the English, but of the immense gap that exists in the distance between God and man. The difficulty is not caused because the language is not modern or colloquial enough. Since the fall of man, man has moved off to a place where he likes to be out of reach of God's voice. This was his first reaction, to hide himself from the presence of God. He is now powerless to penetrate God's spiritual realm with understanding, and so he moves manically through man-made word mazes in version after version, defiantly determined never to look up to God, nor to delve within his own misdirected heart. The spiritual chasm is so vast that even those who were close to Jesus could not understand him. He was not speaking an ancient form of their language when he spoke to Mary and Joseph and said, and yet they said that they understood not the saying which he spoke unto them. Luke chapter 2 verse 50. And they understood not the saying which he spake unto them. It was not that the words were obsolete or hard to understand when he asked Peter, Why ye also yet without understanding? Do not ye yet understand? Peter himself fell into the darkening spell of sin and ends up saying, I know not, neither understand I what thou sayest, when he was challenged that night. Here are the two scriptures. Matthew 15:16. And Jesus said, Are ye also yet without understanding? Do not ye yet understand that? And Mark 14:68. But he denied, saying, I know not, neither understand I what thou sayest. God tells us that man's inability to understand the Bible has a number of causes, none of which is the limitation of his vocabulary or understanding the communication language. The Bible is not difficult to understand, it is frankly impossible, unless God's conditions for understanding it are met. These conditions have nothing to do with the language model that is used. The hindrance to understanding the Bible is found in the heart of man. The Bible reader should look within their heart to find the source of the conundrum, and then look up to God for the unraveling of it. So the first consideration is to know that, as you pick up a Bible and turn to read it, it is a sealed book to the natural man and the heart of mankind. Meditate on this. Psalm 34:18. The Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as be of a contrite spirit. You need a prepared heart if you want the book to become unsealed for you.